Right now at Gap Factory and Banana Republic Factory, save 50 to 70% off everything in stores and online. That's right, 50 to 70% off everything. Celebrate the 4th with dresses from $19.99 at Banana Republic Factory. And at Gap Factory stores, tees start at $4.99. Plus, save an extra 40% off clearance. Sale ends Tuesday. Search our store locator for your nearest Gap Factory and Banana Republic Factory store or shop us online.
Hi, this is Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and you're listening to No BS Hiring Advice Radio, or watching it as a Google Hangout. It's a time where I spend about 15 minutes speaking with you about some element of hiring or staffing or recruiting, because I've found that, often with organizations, there are systemic issues that interfere with them doing what they say they want to do, which is hire great talent. So I spend a few minutes once a week talking with you. Generally, it's Wednesday at noon about some element of staffing. Now, today's show is brought to you by two sponsors. The first one is Audible. And if you go to audibletrial.com/thebiggamehunter and sign up for a free trial, Audible offers a free audiobook as part of that trial. So again, audibletrial.com/thebiggamehunter. And I know you like audio, you listen to podcasts, right? The other sponsor is consultingassignments.com, which is a site where you can find and fill consulting assignments, full-time consulting positions, temp to perm, and contract hire opportunities worldwide. Posting a job, posting a resume is free. Searching jobs and resumes is also free, as is the ability to contact one another. The only thing the site charges for is if you want to feature a job or a resume. It is, it's ridiculous. It's $10 for 30 days. And if you're going to feature more than one position, the price goes down from there. So again, consultingassignments.com. Now, this weekend I released an article on LinkedIn that's called Why People Hate Third-Party Recruiters. I'd had an experience last week that triggered the article, and I remembered a conversation I had with an old friend a few weeks before. The conversation with the old friend didn't set off the article, but the one with this recruiter did. Now, just to explain, I work with third-party recruiters sometimes and share fees. So I consider this scenario that I had with this recruiter unfortunately too typical of what you in your role of staffing has to go through. Here's the basic of the scenario. I'm trying to fill a project manager position in Texas. My affiliate sends a resume to me for a not a program manager, a product manager who's in North Carolina. Again, project manager, program manager. Texas, North Carolina. Not exactly a place where the twain is meeting in either case. So my practice is I don't respond if I get a bad resume. I don't care if that's from a recruiter. I don't care if that's from a candidate. My advertising always says I will only respond if I think your background fits the role that's involved. So I receive that, and then from there, a day or two later, I get a phone call from him. Now, he's going to try and argue his way into getting me to work with this person. So he says, did you see the resume that I sent? Yeah, I wasn't interested. That's why I didn't contact you. That's why I didn't contact the candidate. But he's a product manager and he wants to work in Texas. I said, well, that's of no concern to my client. Frankly, am I supposed to care? This is a job for a project manager, and they want someone local to where they are in Texas. But, and that was the last word he heard because I hung up at that point. I can only imagine what it's like for you in your job, because I'm not in your role. Most of the third-party recruiters I work with are remarkably competent and very deferential. We respect one another. We work well with one another. And the result winds up being, excuse me, I had to check for a text there. We respect one another in our judgment, because we know our clients better than the other affiliate does. However, I imagine you get this scenario thrown at you all the time, where you're getting argued with by some idiot who doesn't really know what they're talking about, and their basic premise is to get you to talk to the person. I know you'll love them. They're terrific. And what do they really know about this person that they think that you'll love them and think that they're terrific, even though when you stare at the resume, there's nothing there that interests you? There was another scenario from the applicant side where a friend of mine told me he'd gotten a call from a recruiter. And mind you, he's doing well where he is. He's not thinking of changing jobs. But this recruiter calls him up about a job. And, the short version of it is, this is a great company, a terrific manager. They have a position. It'll pay you about $25,000 less than what you're earning. And they'll be about a step, maybe 2 steps down from where you are now. This is a great opportunity, a terrific firm. You want to go talk to them. Why? And this happens all the time. And the moronica that comes out of a lot of recruiters' mouths is ridiculous. So I just thought I would do a show that would talk with you about how to avoid these scenarios. So the first one is really to understand the background of the person that you're going to be working with. Now, I really don't care about what firm you work with. It's more about the recruiter. Here's why I say that. Years ago, I was in a lawsuit when I was in New York. The building owners of a place I was renting were suing me. I was clearly in the right, but what was going on was I had roof rights to this penthouse apartment I had. One of the owners wanted to build an extension to his apartment up on the roof, and he needed about 3 feet of my space. And I said, sure, no problem. And I just said, one thing I ask you, for however long I'm here, no window overlooking my property. I don't want to be entertainment for you and your wife. He says, fine. And one day I see a window being framed out. And I insisted the construction stop. Now, we each went to battle. And he hired the best landlord attorney in New York. I hired the best tenant attorney in New York. But he got the junior staff. I got the guy whose name was at the top of the shingle. There was no comparison in service. We destroyed them. Now, that has nothing to do with the case. He just knew some of the shenanigans ahead of time, warned me about them, and we were able to get every harassment scenario dismissed very quickly, get this thing thrown out, and they made a lot of money from it. Sometimes you may be working with a brand name firm, but the junior person in the office. So it's one thing to have that senior, it's another thing to have the rookie. So what I always encourage firms to do is, before you start giving out specs, take a look at their LinkedIn profile. And yes, it could be a fraudulent profile, but most of the time they don't really think to make that change. So, one of the simple things that you can look for is, how long have they been at their firm? Are they bouncing around from one shop to another, which to me basically signals that they're not really very good, because if they were making money, they would be able to stay where they are. Normally what happens is one of two things. Number one is you're getting someone who is leaving right before they get fired because they're not producing, not generating revenue. Or they're getting fired regularly, but they interview well, and they walk into an agency owner who is willing to give anyone a shot because they're cheap, and that shouldn't be your problem. What your problem is to fill jobs and not break people in. Even in working with experienced people, I'll use myself as an example. I need to learn how it is you evaluate and assess. I need a little bit of time for me to understand your process, what you're really looking for, and flipping a job description to me has no meaning. And one of the people who commented after that article I wrote called Why People Hate Third-Party Recruiters, wrote to me about an interview that she had gone on, scheduled by a recruiter, and she pointed out it was a waste of her time. She had seen a job description. She was a a non-digital marketing person, and buried in the spec was one reference to digital marketing. And she went on the interview and discovered it was really a digital marketing job. No one could have known that. And often what happens is the recruiter gets a spec, isn't able to get the client on the phone, just starts running off to find someone who fits the job. And as a result, in this case, as I suggested to her, it may not have been the recruiter's fault per se, except that they sent you an interview without testing some assumptions there. Where the fault was a job description given to that recruiter that was shabby. And you're asking them to work on something that suggests something different. So, for me, I always ask for some time scheduled before I start working in order to make sure that what I'm being given, if you're watching on video, you can see I'm holding up my hand to represent a sheet of paper. I hold up a sheet of paper. If what I'm given actually reflects what it is you're looking for. I know sometimes hiring managers send a previously approved rec in to get it approved, knowing that they can do whatever they want once it's approved. This one's gotten approved before. And, I always encourage folks, just lay it out simply to us. We're not there to annoy you or aggravate you. What we're there to do is to fill positions, do it well, make it easy for you, and collect the fee. We want to get paid. And if all that happens is we annoy you, we know we're not going to get paid. And if we don't know that, you are obviously working with an idiot. So the first time that someone starts to argue with you, I just want to suggest a very simple strategy. And that is to simply say, you don't know me, but I just want to tell you one thing. If you ever argue with me again, that'll be the last conversation we ever have. I clearly know what I want. You don't. And you haven't given it to me here. So just be that blunt with them, and you will scare the bejesus out of them. So again, go to the LinkedIn profile. Look at the background of the individual. See how long they've been there. If there's a reference to the type of jobs that he or she works on, are they in line with what you look for? How many endorsements or testimonials do they have about their work? Now, I know I get a ridiculous number by comparison to most folks. So you can't compare me to that. But if they have 1 or 5, or they're in low single digits, it tells you something. They're a rookie. Do you want to work with a rookie? That's your choice. But at least you know what you're getting into. With someone like me who has hundreds of them, close to 1,000, I think, in most categories. I think in a few, I'm over 1,000 endorsements in several categories. And then there's the written testimonials where people have long form stuff about what I've done. It just speaks volumes for what my experience is and how it's been received. Now, I also want to say in advance, I'm not perfect, and other recruiters aren't going to be perfect. So you have to cut a little bit of slack, but this where the slack should be. That client in Texas who talked to me about a position, first 3 resumes I submitted, 1 was right, 2 weren't, and she said, I want to test what you're doing, and I gave her a 3 bears scenario. Too much, too little, 1 in the middle, and the one that I thought was going to be right was right. So at the end of the day, what you need to do is assess the recruiters by looking at their background, talking with them to get a feel for their intelligence, seeing what they really know, what they don't know, see what others have thought about them, see what, and just remind them that they have one opportunity to annoy you. If they ever do it after that, they're done. So I'm Jeff Altman. Hope you find this helpful. If you did, I want to encourage you, come over to my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us, and go exploring. I have more content there that will help you with staffing, with recruiting, and such. And I also want to say, if you need help with it, I'd love to help you. Send me an email at jeffaltman@thebiggamehunter.us. Let me know who to contact. If it's you, let's schedule a time to speak. I'd love to help you in your firm staff positions. If I don't think I'm going to be able to, I'll let you know that too. I don't want to waste your time or mine. Hope you have a great day. Oh, connect with me on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. Take care.
You're a business owner.
Check.
You have business owner's insurance.
Check.
And 10 years ago, that wouldn't have been enough. Today, small businesses are being targeted and taken down by hackers. Medical offices, consultants, CPAs, any business that's built success has everything to lose. You probably have cybersecurity installed on your computer.
Check.
But you probably don't have cyber insurance. Coverage against loss and damage if your data is compromised. Cyber Policy covers that gap. Cyberpolicy.com shops the leading cyber insurers to find you the right policy at the right price to avoid a catastrophe. Coverage against loss and damage if your data is compromised. Get a custom quote today in just 4 minutes. And for a limited time, use the promo code BLOGTALK to get Norton's small business protection for up to 5 devices. Free when you sign up for cyber insurance. Plan, prevent, insure. Visit cyberpolicy.com. That's cyberpolicy.com.
Right now at Gap Factory and Banana Republic Factory, save 50 to 70% off everything in stores and online. That's right, 50 to 70% off everything. Celebrate the 4th with dresses from $19.99 at Banana Republic Factory. And at Gap Factory stores, tees start at $4.99. Plus, save an extra 40% off clearance. Sale ends Tuesday. Search our store locator for your nearest Gap Factory and Banana Republic Factory store or shop us online.